Yes, Charlamagne Tha God, the prince of pissing people off, the ruler of rubbing you the wrong way, the architect of aggravation, that's me. And right now, you're tuned in to London Hours.
London Hours.
What's good, people? It's your boy, Mr. Bounce DJ at LDNHRS on RadioKingOnline.com. Right now, I'm here with my brother Charlamagne. What's really good, brother?
Peace, man. Your name Bounce?
Yeah, Bounce, man.
You look like a big-ass bouncer. Like you be throwing people out of clubs and shit.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got a colourful mean streak, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is, man. You know what I mean? So, look, you're here in London. I mean, what's the reason why you're here, man?
You know, Obi reached out to me to do a party, and, you know, I wasn't doing nothing on a weekend. It was like, okay, fly to London for a weekend. Why not? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm from a dirt road, you know, in South Carolina, a small town called Mounts Corner, population less than 8,000. So they want to pay my black ass to come to London, the party. Hey, why not? I'll be here. So and, you know, I like experiencing new cultures, new people, seeing how other people move, you know. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So how you finding London anyway?
I mean, I ain't really got into nothing yet, you know what I'm saying? Had some breakfast, took a nap. So I'm gonna go see the sights when I finish with all the interviews and stuff, see what's going on. You know, my team, they want to do like touristy shit, like go to, what is it, Nottingham Palace?
Yeah, Buckingham
Palace, to go see the guards that don't move and that kind of stuff. I don't care about that kind of shit. I like to kick it with the people. I'd be more intrigued just sitting around talking to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Going to different spots with y'all and doing stuff like that.
Definitely, man. So your schedule's very busy at the moment. Obviously, you got the Breakfast Club, you got your own show, and also you got Guy Code as well. How do you actually find time to do anything else?
Well, number one, I've been fired 4 times in radio, so I know what unemployment feels like. It's not a good feeling. So I'd rather be doing as much as possible than as little as possible. And number two, it's 168 hours in a week, man. If you can't find the time to do what you need to do in 168 hours in a week, you might as well just kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate when people be like, I don't have it's like interns. I've heard, you know, interns say things like, how can I possibly intern and go to school and work a job? It's 168 hours in a week. Think about it, right? Even if you intern 40 hours a week, you work 40 hours a week, and you go to school 40 hours a week, you still got 40 plus hours to sleep if that's what you want to do. So what are you complaining about? You understand what I'm saying? Like, man, get the fuck out of here.
So obviously, you know, the Breakfast Club is blown, like in terms of New York radio as well as online. Did you expect it to be like an internet sensation?
Yes, praise be to God. I did expect that. And the first day that we all got together, before we even got on the air, the first thing myself did, Angela Yee did, and DJ Envy did was a webisode, because that's how I knew. I mean, I had been on Angela Yee's show before, and we can't even find it. I'll turn it off. Listen, but like Envy used to always put his interviews up when he was on Hip Hop Nation on satellite radio, and Angela used to do the same thing on Shade 45, and I used to do the same thing when I was, you know, with Wendy, and when I was doing my own morning show in Philly, and even before that, when I was doing radio in South Carolina, I would take my interviews and, you know, put them online, and people like All Hip Hop would show me love. Shout out to LC, you know, Grouchy Greg and Chuck Creamore them. So I knew the internet was going to be a plus for us, you know, because that's the way we live now, you know. But people ain't just turning on the radio every day and catching your interviews. They'll catch them after the fact online. So I'm just happy that people embraced our interviews the way that they did. Because, I mean, the internet is one thing. It's cool when you know, put some content online. But if the people don't embrace it, it's sitting online. But when the people embrace it, that's when it goes viral. So now they look for it. And I appreciate that they check for us like that.
Definitely, man. So what's been your favorite interview so far on the show, or just in general?
I'm going to try to really answer this question, because everybody asks me that question, and I always say it is, because it's an honest answer. It's always the OGs of the game. Like, I like interviewing the people who came up in the 90s, early 2000s, because they really got a story to tell. They really can teach you some things. But I'm trying to figure out who was my absolute favorite interview. I think my absolute favorite interview on the Breakfast Club, man, it might have been Fat Joe, yo. Fat Joe and Baby Camera. Only because their stories are so detailed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't bite their tongues at all. I like Irv Gotti too, though. Irv Gotti's another one who don't bite his tongue at all. And his stories are very detailed. It's like, those are the guys you be like, man, you need to write a book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those are the interviews I like. So I would probably say one of those three thus far has been my favorite interview. And I love the bullshit. You know, I love when Ray J calls in and rants. I love when DMX comes in and wild the fuck out too. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't have one favorite. I ain't gonna say I like them all, but I don't have one favorite. You know.
But in terms of the up and coming interviews, is there any ones that you really want to? Is there any person that you really want to interview?
I wouldn't mind having Rihanna on the show. I'm not even gonna lie. I think out of everybody that's moving and doing things right now, I think Rihanna would be a really good, fun interview, because it's not too many times we see Rihanna sit down and actually have conversations with people. Like,
Why hasn't it happened yet?
I think it's gonna happen soon. You know what I'm saying? I think with the last project, because Breakfast Club has only been on for 4 years. The last project I remember her dropping was the joint where We Found Love on it. I think that was the R album, and I don't remember her doing too much press for that. I remember she did Oprah, if I'm not mistaken, but she didn't do any regular radio for that. But I think this time around you'll see her on the Breakfast Club. I think you'll see Rihanna on the Breakfast Club before 2014 is over. But I would love to sit down with her, because I think, like I said, only time you ever really seen her have a conversations when she sat down with Oprah, you know. But I think it'd be dope to see her sit down with the Breakfast Club, have some drinks, maybe smoke some weed in the studio. We gonna thug it out when Ree comes.
Yeah, cool. So before 2014 ends, do you think you ever get Drake on there?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. That's the one that seems like everybody wants to see. But for what?
Well, you've got Jay, you've had Kanye on there. Why not Drake, right?
It's a good question. I mean, it's a lot of people that I've slandered who come on the show. Exactly. You know, Diddy. I mean, shit, we on revolt now. After all the things I've said about Diddy and his artists, we in business together now. You know, Little Kim, Jermaine Dupri, Chris Brown, like all of them have gotten it and still came to the show. But I don't care if the artists come to the show or not. Like I said, I'd rather talk about you than talk to you 9 times out of 10 anyway. You know, because that's not even for my benefit. Like sitting down, talking to him and telling him everything I've been saying, and then him saying whatever back to me, and then us probably maybe fighting in the studio. That's for y'all pleasure. That don't do shit for me. You know what I'm saying? That's for y'all to be like, oh, that's what I've been waiting to see. Like, so I can give it a shit if he comes or not.
Fair enough, man. So we know that you're a massive rap fan. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely a rap student as well. Are there any projects this year that you're looking forward to that's going to be dropping this year?
I hope Kendrick drops his sophomore album, because to me, Kendrick Lamar is the leader of the new school when it comes to all of these new rappers. You know, it's between him and Drake. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick is my personal favorite, and I think hip hop is one big jumping competition. So nowadays, if you're like taking a step back to actually create, and people don't see you dropping a freestyle every 2 weeks or whatever, they're like, oh, out of sight, out of mind. So nobody's really on Kendrick's dick right now. But when he comes back out, everybody's going to jump back on it. So I really want to see what he does with his sophomore album, see if he lives up to the hype that he's built for himself, or the hype that people have built up for him. Wale, I'm interested in hearing Wale's next project. I think he's got a lot to prove. I think he's very slept on and underrated.
That also in light of obviously the recent controversy that's happened with Meek Mill.
Yeah, and he's responded very well. He's put out a song every week since then.
What did you think of that when Meek Mill came out and obviously slandered him on the tour?
I thought that was corny. I like Meek. I expect more from Meek. You know what I'm saying? I expect that kind of behavior from those emo rappers. You know what I mean? I don't expect Meek to do something like that, especially if y'all supposed to be crew and y'all supposed to be boys, man. Pick up the phone. Ain't no need to throw that out there publicly you just announced your album release date the day before. And I do my research. I wouldn't check Wale's Twitter. He hadn't tweeted since Thursday. So get him, man, to give him time to get back on Twitter, you know? So yeah, I wasn't feeling that one at all. And Gunplay. Looking forward to Gunplay's new album.
Yeah, he's got a hot single out of the album.
And his debut album, Gunplay, is really dope. Gunplay is criminally slept on. He's a lyricist, man. Listen to Gunplay. That's what I'm talking about. Gunplay.
All right, my final question. So now that you're out in London, is there any other English artists or British artists that you've heard of or you're checking out and slightly feeling?
I mean, I like all of the soul artists, as I call them. I like Adele. I like, Sam Smith. know, Ed Sheeran. But I want to hear more of the new hip hop, man. I want to. Where the UK hip hop artists at?
We've got a lot out here, you know.
Put me on. I mean, I know, like, of course, Tiny Temple.
Yeah.
And I know the old school cats like Dizzy Rascal them. But I need to hear some new ish. You know, I want to hear some new street UK artists. Not even street. Just want to hear who's dope. Who's popping out here. Who is?
We've got Krept and Conan. They're good. Blade Brown, he's a favourite of mine. I mean, we've got plenty out there, you know what I mean? Becky as well. Don't worry, I'm going to tweet you and I'm going to show you some stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, thanks very much anyway for giving us your time. So, thank you very much, man.